It is Wednesday, which means we get a visit with our friend Michael Babcock at TMZ to get the scoop on today's hottest stories. What's going on, Babcock?
Hey, Maddie, how are you? Hey, Jeremy.
Hi. I thought
guys? How you doing?
I thought Maddie was going to sing.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Michael Babcock, Michael Babcock, Michael Babcock, Michael Babcock.
It's Wednesday, hey.
There you go.
There it is.
Okay. I need someone to clip that, send that to me, and that's going to be my new ringtone.
We'll do it.
Perfect.
Done.
What's happening what's happening in the world of celebrities and gossip and
what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about Britney Spears getting a ticket, getting pulled over and getting in some trouble, or Todd Chrisley in prison?
I'm actually very excited about both these stories, but let's start with Brit.
Let's start with Brit. Did she have the knives with her in the car?
No, well, I don't know. Hopefully not. That feels like it'd be dangerous. This was last month too, so this was on September 10th. So a couple of weeks have passed here now. But Britney was driving. She was in Ventura County, and California Highway Patrol (CHP) pulled her over. She was going 61 in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. Okay, fine. Though when they pulled her over and they asked for her documentation, she did not have either her license in her possession, not necessarily saying she didn't have a license, didn't have it with her, also didn't have proof of insurance with her. So like 2 of the 3 documents you're supposed to have, she obviously did not have. She gets a ticket for a couple of those things. Ultimately, she has to pay a $1,140 fine. Obviously, money she has, so she pays the fine and everything is okay. She not the first incident she's had with the car. She last year in the summer, she ran out of gas and needed some fans to help her. So she's had trouble here and there with the car since the conservatorship ended. But no big deal here.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, surely she has it, but sometimes you forget when you walk out the door.
Yeah. Actually, I'm guilty of that.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just glad to hear she was out and about driving, doing something, living life, because I just always feel like she's always so hidden and secluded in her house.
Well, you don't see her. You know, Jeremy, like there's all these photo agencies around LA, and they take photos of celebrities, and you see them. They get sent to our emails, and a lot of times you'll see people who are out and about, but you never, ever, or hardly ever see Britney Spears out at this store or out to lunch or whatever she may be doing. So I think that's actually a good point, that at least she's going out and doing stuff, and she's not just cooped up in her home by herself.
Yeah.
Do we happen to know if after the conservatorship she had to retake her driver's test and like all of that stuff since she?
I don't think so, Maddie, but that's a great question. I didn't hear anything about that.
Okay.
I mean, they pretty much ended the conservatorship. I mean, the judge didn't even make her go through a medical evaluation before he ended the conservatorship. So they were sort of just like, just kind of like pushed her out the door and like, oh, you're on your own now, Britney. And,
welcome back to the world.
Right. Like after being, I mean, effectively, I wouldn't say it was as bad as being, in prison for 13 years or anything like that, but she really had everything done for her for more than a decade. And to go back and have to do everything by yourself, it's got to be a little challenging, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Michael, can I ask you a quick question off topic? But because you kind of said something. You said you get people sending you emails with tons of celebrity photos, catching up. What is the #1 restaurant celebrities like to go to be seen?
Craig's?
Oh, I mean, I think like Craig's. A lot of people at Mastro's, at Nobu. I mean, I think there's just a few restaurants. There are places most places you can lay low in town. That's sort of the funny thing. A lot of times, if you see a celebrity and they'll act like they don't want to be seen, but there are only a few restaurants that actually have paparazzi outside of them in LA. So.
Isn't that is the
I really want that that restaurant's place, but you definitely could go other places and not be seen. But what do I know?
We trust you.
Hey, you are famous, so wherever you go, we know the paparazzi are following.
Right. Oh yeah, it's like Brad Pitt walking around.
But paparazzi are not following Todd Chrisley because he is actually behind bars for quite a long time.
He's serving his 12-year sentence at a federal penitentiary in Florida, in Pensacola, actually. And he has not been happy with his treatment, his personal treatment, since he's gotten there. He believes that they're messing with him in different ways, that they've been taking his mail and not giving it to him, and that he believes for some reason that somebody actually photographed him while he was sleeping, perhaps to sell the photo later on. But he doesn't think that the treatment in this place is adequate at all, and for other inmates as well. He sees people that I mean, he says, I saw a guy have a seizure and for an hour did not receive help. So that's what Todd Chrisley is saying. Now, his lawyer says this has given him purpose and that he really wants to now spend his sentence trying to help the people that are actually in this facility, in some ways reform the criminal justice system from inside the system while he's in it. And that's what he says he wants to do now. And again, he's found a purpose, but he's got a long sentence. 12 years, obviously a long time.
Wow.
Got a lot to think about.
I'm so torn on that, Michael, just because I did watch Chrisley Knows Best. I watched the growing of Chrisley. I don't know why I followed them the way I did, but I did.
They're entertaining.
They had a lot of fans though, Jeremy. So I don't. I mean, it's clearly there was something about them that was entertaining.
Oh, and it is. I mean, by the last few seasons, it was so overproduced. I mean, I just felt like it was they were following the script.
Really?
Yeah, I still watched it, Michael.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you still watch.
Again, I'm still there.
Right.
We all
You
start
were
a reality
invested
show.
at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all
And
start.
I
mean,
do feel
the
bad.
bank fraud and the tax evasion. That's why they're there. So.
Well, that was the whole storyline because they would switch houses almost every season, and then they moved from like Atlanta to Nashville, and I'm like, are they
Really?
running from their problems? Because it kind of even seemed like
Right.
on the show, like you're not doing a very good job of hiding this,
Right.
Because you keep moving.
Right, they're moving a lot, but they're also on national television.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard to hide where you are. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pull
Great,
out
that's weird.
a wild Uno card here.
Yeah.
Him and Kim Kardashian team up for prison reform.
Wow,
That becomes a whole new reality show in itself.
Right, her from the outside, he from the inside.
Boom.
Do you think too, Maddie has I think it was Maddie that had a prediction that his
What's the
wife,
prediction?
Julie, who's also in prison, will probably
Yes.
leave him at some point when she's paroled or in prison will divorce
Right.
him.
Well, and her sentence significantly shorter. She
Yes.
got 7 years. He's 12. So
Yeah.
right, 7 years go by or whenever she gets out, and
I'd be bitter.
maybe
Yeah.
she goes, "Hey Todd, I got
Teresa
something I got to
Dimitri.
tell you. Check the mail for the divorce paper. We'll see what happens.
I just don't know
Wouldn't be
how
the
you
fir-
stay
wouldn't be the
together
first
after
time.
that, especially if you feel blindsided. Like, not saying that Julie was, she may have known, but you
Right.
know, that's a lot to go through as a couple.
Well, if she didn't know, can you imagine?
Oh.
I mean, the rage that you would probably feel for this guy that that was supposed to love you, put you in this situation. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll see if he actually does make a difference, though.
Yeah.
Well, I did read, I think, like right when he entered, he was going and like doing stuff with the church within the prison. And so it's just kind of evolved from there. And now God's
Right.
telling him, hey, this is your purpose in life. So
Right.
You know, hey, when God
We'll
calls,
see.
you answer.
You pick up. Hello, God.
You better pick up, right?
And if I were Julie, I'm
God
running for
is
the hills.
picked up.
I would too. And and we've seen Savannah on Special Forces on Fox.
Yes,
the kids are still
yeah.
trying to make that coin from
Yes.
reality TV.
Yeah,
Especially Savannah.
They have to go on, right? They've got to go on, and they've got careers that they want to try and build. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Michael, thanks for keeping us in the loop. We love you so much.
course.
We'll see you next Wednesday.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right, you
Bye.
catch TMZ weekdays at 5 p.m. and TMZ Live weekdays at 2 p.m. Don't go anywhere. So much more fun on Ozarks Fox Sam right after this. They're good.